Happy Saturday. Today's topic, high revving cars. We're going to start off with a car that's unrealistic for most of us, but don't worry, it's going to get very realistic. I'm a Ferrari fan. I think most car enthusiasts like Ferraris. I even made a video called Ferrari F355, the affordable Ferrari, and I made that video like 3 or 4 years ago when they were like $50,000. I think they're like 80 now, so less affordable now. But even back 3, 4 years ago, they cost about $10,000 every 2 or 3 years to maintain. So yeah, that's not that affordable, and I'm probably never gonna own one. So I got my little Fiat Abarth 500, a little mini Ferrari, close enough. I have the Sega Dreamcast game of the Ferrari F355. The guy who made the game, I think he also made Shenmue. That's his favorite car of all time. So he made a video game about it. I'm going to talk about that in future videos. Video games on specific cars. But the Ferrari F355, look it up. Sounds great, and it has a 8500 RPM red line. When I was a teenager, I was a hardcore American muscle fan, and I'm guilty of making fun of Hondas and Acuras and import cars. But deep inside, I kind of like them, and I like them even more now as an adult. Here's the thing. Your typical four-cylinder car has about a 6,000, 6,500 RPM red line. Hondas were innovative. Honda was an innovative company and brought 8,000 RPM red line cars to normal people like you and me, people who can't afford Ferraris. They brought VTEC, which is racing technology, and put them in Acuras and Hondas. The car we're looking at right now, 1999 Honda Civic Si. Good luck finding one stock these days, but it had an 8,000 RPM red line. I almost bought Integra GSR back in 2010, but the insurance was as much as a Corvette because thieves like to steal Hondas and Acuras. But very impressive 8,000 RPM red line. I considered getting a Mazda RX-8 a couple of years ago. I was very close to pulling the trigger and getting one. 9,000 RPM red line. Here's a question for you guys watching this who are familiar with high revving cars. Name a few cars that redline 8,000. I want 8,000. What cars on the market go to 8,000? I don't think there's very many. I don't even think the Sentra SCR has a 8,000 RPM red line. Now I know a lot of high-end cars like the what's that called? What's that car? The God, I like this car too. The Ford, the 350 Shelby, the with the flat plane V8. That one goes to like 8,250, but you know, it's a $50,000 car. What low-end car goes to 8,000 RPM these days? Even the new Civic I think they only go to like I want to say 65, 6,800 now because they're turbo now. Honda ditched VTEC, I think, and they're going turbo now. Even the Type R, I want to say, only goes up to like 7,000 RPM. My Z06 Corvette goes to 6,500, and it's a V8, so it makes glorious sound. So yeah, when it comes to four-cylinder cars, yeah, 8 grand or bust. I like my little Fiat, but it only has a 6,500 RPM red line. If they got that to 8 grand, damn, that would have sounded more like a Ferrari. It still sounds like a mini Ferrari, but it doesn't have that long vocal range of a high RPM. So, here's a car for you. If you don't care what your friends think about you and you want to be different, See, Hondas are cool, Acuras are cool, you know, they got the culture behind them, they got the popularity, the aftermarket, people like them, people hate them. Civics and Mustangs, people hate Civics and Mustangs, and it's for a reason. There's so many of them, but there's such a big following that it's a easy those two are easy cars to hate. But if you want to be different, I made a video about the Saturn Ion Redline. If you want to be really different, get one of those, but it doesn't have a high red line. So, I'm just bringing that up because I did make a video about it and how it's such an oddball car. But if you want to be different, you don't care what your friends think about you, or if you're like me and you have no friends, so you don't care what anyone thinks about you. You just care about what you think about yourself and you like what you like. Consider this Toyota Corolla XRS. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my mom had this generation Corolla, and I think it was the most boring car ever. Felt like an appliance. But honestly, if you were to buy your first car, get the '03 to I think '08 generation Corolla. My mom put 180,000 miles on that car and it had zero issues. But like I said, very appliance like. But I don't think a lot of people know about this car, the Toyota Corolla XRS, 8,000 RPM redline. Very Honda Civic like. Like I said, name a car that redlines to 8,000 RPM. Corolla XRS is one of them. I think the new Miata doesn't even hit 8,000. I think it hits 7,500, but this Corolla, this appliance looking car with ground effects and a spoiler, 8,000 RPM redline. Just like a Civic. Think about it. Look at the same year Honda Civic, the hatchback. It only has a 7,000 RPM redline. So the Toyota Corolla XRS from 2005 has a higher, it's out Honda-ing Honda with the whole RPM thing. So if you want to be a little different, if you kind of like Hondas like me, see, I'm not like a Honda fanboy. I didn't even like Hondas as a teenager, but I'm appreciating them now. See, man, I would have 50 freaking cars if I had the money, but I think I would pick this XRS over a Civic Si. I mean, I like that blue Si that I showed earlier, but good luck finding one now. But there you go. There's your oddball car of the day. If you're watching this, you're either a subscriber who watches all my videos, and I appreciate it. You guys made it possible for me to get that Fiat, or you found this video in the YouTube search results. You're just looking up Corolla XRSs for some reason. Hey, you're different. I like that. Pick this car up. Make a video about it. YouTube link it to me. I'll watch your video and I'll thumb it up. I like these cars. I'm very interested. That's just that oddball car that I don't think many people know about. 8,000 RPM redline, just like a Civic Si. The old ones, the new ones, they don't redline high anymore.